and they'll present and entertain questions and all that. And then we'll take a break. Everybody can go to the back of the room, grab sandwiches, and we'll bring up Jody and her client, Jackie, okay? So with that, Gabriel, you want to come up?
Wow. This is it. So first of all, it's good to see you all. I've been away for a couple of months, and it's always nice to be in this chapter meeting. And second, I would like to thank Tom for giving me the opportunity to present Avi and his beautiful wife, Noah. And before I introduce Avi, I would like to thank Faustino, he's away, I don't know, the cameraman, and Anne. But the camera is running, I know. And Faustino is my client, and I'm working with Faustino on certifying his business.
Sorry, I just saw somebody flash up, can't see. The camera's right here, and
Okay.
I want you guys within.
So I'm working with Faustino on certifying him on 8A certification, government contracting. So Avi, I met Avi then about a year ago. I think it was in November.
Yep.
And Avi had a patentable, a very unique idea. And when he came to see me, he didn't know where to start. But 3 months later, he has not only produced his product, but he was already in a multi-billion and half a billion market share. And now he's growing his business after a year. It's about a year now, eh?
That's right.
And an incredible success. So I will let you then speak more about the product and what you have achieved until now.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually my first time holding a microphone, so. My name is Avi. This is my wife, Noah. Our story, and I'll kind of, before I talk about the product, I wanted to kind of take a step back and first of all say that Gabriel has been instrumental to our success. It has been, he's been so resourceful, available at all times, and I can't imagine doing this without him. We very often talk about him, and are reminded of how resourceful and helpful he has been throughout the whole process. But I'll take a step back. About a year and a half ago, we have 2 little kids, and we realized that we weren't spending enough quality time with them. We wanted to do more meaningful moments with them, and we had the idea of purchasing a travel trailer. Living here, there's so much to do outdoors, and we decided to buy a travel trailer. So we went to pick up our travel trailer, and I brought it home. I disconnected it from my truck, and I don't know how many people are familiar with travel trailers in general, right? Someone's familiar with it, right? Okay, so at the front of any travel trailer, there is a tongue jack, right? In addition to the tongue jack, there are safety chains that you use to connect from your trailer to your truck. So in the event it gets disconnected, then it's still connected. And there's also the electrical cord that goes from your travel trailer into your truck. So when you hit the brakes or the lights are working, so that's kind of what the purpose of these. So I disconnected the chains from my truck and the electrical cord, and I was holding them in my hand, and I'm thinking to myself, well, what am I supposed to do with these things now? Well, sure enough, nobody ever thought of anything to do with these. As you can see, this is just a completely exposed plug. So if it rains, water will go into this thing. And the jacks themselves also, they're not as waterproof as you think they are. So we thought to ourselves, how neat would it be if if we created a cover that would offer a place where a protection for the plug, a place for your safety chains instead of kind of dumping them on the ground or letting this kind of dingle on the front of the chassis of the trailer. How neat would it be if we created a jack cover that would be custom to the shape of this tongue jack? There's about 10 different type of jacks out there. And so we wanted to make one that is custom for each and every one. They do make jack covers that are just kind of like generic, one size fit all, so to speak, with a drawstring at the bottom. But that's about the only thing that is out there. So that's exactly what we did. So we've created, so for example, for this model, so this would be for this specific model, is a jack cover that would fit this just perfectly. Just like this. So now you have a place for your chains to be hanging off the ground, and you have a place, a waterproof pouch where you can take your electrical cord and kind of tuck it away. So that's protected. We put a lot of thoughts into the details of this of the cover. For example, every cover has a window where the controls are, so you really never have to remove the cover to operate the jack because of the window. The pouch where the electrical cord goes, the fabric right here is actually melted, so it's really waterproof and water sealed, so no water will get to the plug at any time. It's extremely well made. It's got vents on the sides. There's even a place where you can actually take a lock and lock the cover in place so people don't just kind of come and take it. And it's been, so again, we made it for all the different jacks models that are out there. And we called it the Clever Cover. It retails for $39.99. And our story when we made it was, literally we bought all 10 different models, and I disconnected the jacks. So I took just the black casing on the top, and I got on a plane and I flew to China, not knowing anybody or knowing where to make it, and found my way, and kind of one thing led to another. We've designed everything. We built our own website, our own packaging, everything we've done internally. And it has been remarkable, the response that we've seen from the market. It's been on the market since June only. And we've sold out of our initial inventory so quickly that it's just amazing. Right now, the product is being offered at 60 dealerships throughout the whole country. There are 3 RV accessory distributors that are offering it. Amazon sales have been phenomenal. We've been averaging about 20 covers a day on Amazon because there's just nothing out there. There's no solution to these things. So we were very surprised to learn in an industry that has been out for so many years. So it's been very well. And I think that's about it, right?
Yeah, one thing about Avi is he is a former NBA player and a serial entrepreneur. He has a couple of businesses in real estate business, I believe, including an IT business. So he's a well-seasoned professional as well, huh? Yeah.
But yeah, it's been, for us, it's been a real remarkable experience to see the kind of response from dealers and consumers. We have amazing reviews on the product. And again, I think Gabriel has been really resourceful in ways that it's just been amazing to have it. And he always makes us feel good when we come, so we try to come very often. That's another thing.
Thank you.
But, I think that's about it.
That's good. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
What's your website?
Trailer Sphere, that's the name of the company, Trailer Sphere. TrailerSphere.com. That's the name of the company. Yeah.
How much of your sales are generated at your website versus Amazon?
You know, there are no e-commerce, so you can't buy it on our website. So if you go to our website to TrailerSphere.com, you'll get to see, we wanted to make it as simple as possible for customers to be able to know which model they need. Because we know the name of these jacks, but people don't necessarily know. They know what it looks like. So if you go to the website, you just click on shop covers, and then you'll see all, the first step will be just to find the image that matches your trailer. And as soon as you click on it, it will take you to the next page where you'll see all the different images, but then there's a link from there that will take you to Amazon.
So what made you decide not to do e-commerce at your website?
Well, I think primarily would be the idea of shipping it myself one at a time and having to deal with customers on that level.
You didn't want to do fulfillment?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
No, I didn't want to do fulfillment, and we love our freedom. That's one of the things we've always loved. We wanted to maintain it, and
So
thanks
it's
to
turnkey.
Amazon, we do just that.
It's turnkey for you that way? Turnkey, like, you just let them take care of all.
Yep, it really is much easier, much easier.
So that's worth.
And I can spend my time on things that matter more.
So that's worth foregoing the fees that you're paying Amazon.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's well worth it. I think it's well worth it. You store some of your product there, and they deal with shipping and returns and whatever needs to be dealt with. They deal with. So I think it's well worth it.
I also think one of the primary drivers of, if you were selling at your website, would be Google search, and people wouldn't know what to search for.
That's right.
Yeah, so
That's
that's
right.
interesting as well.
Yeah, for our product, Amazon is just a perfect marriage,
Yeah.
in my opinion. But yeah.
Cool.
Well, first off, congratulations,
Thank
that's
you.
great. So I'm just curious, so what's next? You've scratched it, so where's it going from here?
Good question. I think, again, the important thing one of my biggest challenge was the fact that people don't know that there's finally a solution for those safety chains and the electrical plug. They don't know about it. So the key was, how do you bring awareness to this? So that's where that's where our focus is right now, is how do we bring it out? So we spend a lot of time on social media, a ton of time on Facebook, for example. There are groups on Facebook for so many different trailers. They all have their own groups. So we try to kind of put in the seeds in some of these groups, and it has been incredibly successful when we go directly to where the customers are and talk about it. And the response from people that buy it is just phenomenal. I mean, they just, all of a sudden, that whole front of that trailer is organized instead of just kind of being in disarray.
Knowing that Facebook has been so successful, have you tried any advertising on Facebook?
I do that as well. So I do the I advertise on Facebook. That's right.
Yeah.
And I also go directly
Organic,
into different
So has the advertising been successful for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yes,
Mhm.
it has been.
Yeah.
So for the question, where does he go from now? I think what he's doing right now is consolidating the products, each product by patent even. The patent will be the key, so that he doesn't have.
We filed a provisional initially. Now we're doing a non-provisional application. But what we did do, and again, making the awareness of this is the key for us. And what we've done is, I realize that we're only a one-man show, so to speak, okay? And we can't go to a dealership in Texas and one in North Dakota, wherever they are. We can't do it physically. So we've partnered with a team that's called Dealer Resource Group. It's a group that represents exactly people like us that have maybe one or two products in the RV industry. And they've been doing this for maybe 20 years. And they have about 12 different reps that are divided among the country. They have their own territory, an existing relationship with all the dealerships in the country. There's about 3,500 dealerships, RV dealerships in the country. So they have been taking it, they each have got a sample, and they've been taking it to their meetings. They go, every week they go to multiple dealers. And they have been presenting it, and then they'll send me an order for that dealership. And so that is how we've expanded throughout the country as a result of that partnership. Yeah, that's the website.
Avi, just let me interrupt. I'm getting texts from people saying they can't hear, so.
They can't hear.
Expect
Oh, I'm sorry.
probably people
Oh, this is
asking
better, right?
questions. Yep, repeat questions from the audience.
Okay, yes.
May I ask, what is your cost for that item there, and where are you having it manufactured?
The cost is about $6.50. And I can't emphasize enough how much I had insisted of the quality to be where it needs to be. I knew from the very beginning that there could not be any shortcut taken. If this would have a chance to do well, it has to be well thought of, and the quality has to be there. Every single stitch on this thing have been thought on. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, even all these metals that you see here are rustproof, for example. You know, we've cross stitched over here for the weight of the chain. So when the heavy chains of the trailer go on here, it doesn't really damage this. So we put a lot of thought into the quality of this. And our most recent addition, which I'm actually really excited about, is one of the things that was a concern was, you know, when you drive, if you drove with the cover on, and you drive, then the chains will flap as you drive with it. So what we've done is, with this new model, is we've added a little push button, and then when you drive with it, you just push it on, and it just stays on. I've had Lippert components. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they are a very big player in the RV industry. They were interested in licensing this from us, but it didn't work out for us the way we wanted, so we kind of put an end to that. But
your customers, are they worldwide now?
If our customers are worldwide,
Are your customers worldwide?
I mean,
Mostly U.S.
It's mostly in the U.S. In the U.S. alone, there's about 9 million registered travel trailers in the country.
I see.
There are some in Canada and some in Australia, but primarily will be the U.S. market.
How do you keep a foreign manufacturer from copying your product?
How do I prevent it?
Yeah, prevent it, can you?
Well, I'm tall, and I go to China often. I don't think there's a way to prevent it. I mean, when I go to China, and again, we're doing the patent here in the U.S., but everything is copied over there. I mean, everything.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, everything. If Nike couldn't stop them from copying their stuff there, I mean, Trellis was not going to be able to stop them either. And it's also, I guess, also is a money issue. How much money do we want to pour into this?
Yeah.
Trying to stop them from doing this. And the fact, because the U.S. is primarily the market for this, then my focus is just being here, you know, protecting it, trying to do my best protecting it over here.
Now, how many people do you have on your payroll?
Oh, right there. And I have you know, a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old.
The other thing is, Avi is the only one in the market.
Yeah, there
is no market.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Yes,
There's
this is a very large market.
There is nothing, and there's never been anything.
Now, how long has this been offered?
It's been out since June, and we sold,
Okay.
and it's been taking off like almost instantly. We sold on Amazon, like I said, an average of 20 covers every single day. Every single day. And I think in total we've sold since June about 4,000 of them already, of covers. I've ordered another container that is arriving this Friday, and the third one is already been ordered for, that's going to be arriving at the end of December. And that is, and the reason for those containers that are coming, more product is coming because of the distribution that is coming on board at the beginning of next year. So I want to make sure I have enough inventory for those orders.
I would think your distributors would want to buy your company, or that.
I think eventually that might be the case with somebody, but again, it's been just, I mean, it's just so simple and but just very effective.
It seems to me that being that you're first to market, and you can never, you know, prevent anyone from copying you, but if you build up the brand name as something that is represents quality and like all the other attributes you're trying to push out there, that might help maintain that position a little longer, it seems to me.
And that's been the key, I think so too. You know, my patent attorney tells me, you know, you can only fight them really in the marketplace.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't, even he said, even if we get a patent for this, You know, how are you going to be able to enforce it? It's going to be very expensive, and you know, you'll be a fool to think that you could.
Right, so
You know,
like,
it's designed to discourage them, maybe somebody to copy it, but
we're really building up that brand and what that brand meaning to people more than just being a cover for this specific purpose might, you know, mitigate some of that stuff. So to me, it would be a good idea to start thinking about how you might do that going forward.
yeah. Good idea.
Just a thought.
Yes.
From the time that you place an order to the time that it ships, until the time you actually get it to Amazon, how long does that take?
How long it takes me to get an order from the moment I place an order with the factory?
Yes.
60 days. 60 days, yes. Yeah, 60 days. Yes, please.
I'd just like to know how you're funding this. Are you self-funding? Are you seeking?
Oh, how she was asking how I'm funding this. No, this is all, you know, self-funding, no loans. But again, we sold out of so much product that our second shipment was completely paid for just by the initial orders, just by the initial sales that we've had. But yeah, it's self-funding, no loans. Yes.
What has been your experience with, you have many different models, has inventory been an issue, some selling and some not, or?
That's an excellent point. Now,
Repeat the question.
so the question was, what was my experience with the inventory? If some are selling better than others? And the answer is absolutely yes. Again, I want to go back to Lippert Components. It's a for-profit organization, you know, publicly traded, and it's probably the largest one in the whole industry. They make 2 jacks. This happened to be one of them, and there's another one. And by far, those 2 models, you know, outsell everything else by far. And I have sold out of both of them. Yeah, that's right. Yes?
I'm just curious, so when you're doing your marketing, are you driving the traffic first to your website and then having them procure from there? Like, where are you driving all of your traffic to? Is it your website?
My Facebook ad, I mean, they all, so how do I drive the marketing? The question was, how do I drive the marketing?
Where are you
do I go,
driving the traffic
customers
to?
go to the website, or, so no, they go straight into Amazon. That's what I do.
So then how are you able to get the analytics you need on how many people then click on your product, look at it, and purchase versus not purchase?
Some of this data is available on Amazon. That's one way. And I also have analytics for my website. But I don't know. I just found it that like sending them directly to Amazon seems to be more effective. I personally would wish that they would go straight to my website, just because I think the website is very attractive and very inviting. So, you know, we've designed all this. So if you scroll down, if you don't mind, so you'll see, you know, you just click on shop covers, and then you just, like I said, you know, you scroll down and say, okay, which one do I have on my trailer? And the one on top right here, this is the one that is the most popular one. So you go there, and then one of the nice thing we did, the neat little thing we did is that we called each clever cover by our favorite camping spots in Washington. So they have, you know, the Olympic, you know, for Olympic National Park, of course. And so again, from there you just click and you go to Amazon. And if you go down, you'll see it in use. Oh, there it is. You can do this here too. So this is how nice and organized. If you click on this, you'll see, you know, when the cover is on the trailer. There we go. This one. See? Or either one of them. You know, it doesn't matter. There we go. So you'll see, you know, it's just really nice. Gives it a nice protection. Organizes everything, and you know, these are expensive jacks. You know, they're $300 to replace these, and water will go into these. It's just a matter of time. There's no question about it, and people know them. So protecting it, you know, you better have the cover take the beating from Mother Nature, even though I think eventually Mother Nature is going to win, but at least it's going to give it a shot. Yes, I think you have a question.
The next one is, the next step is maybe to use extensively the Facebook ad for the marketing purpose.
I think you had a question.
My question is going to be related to that. Are you paying for placement on Amazon, Facebook?
What do you mean by that?
So you're an Amazon choice, and you also show up as a suggested and sponsored item on Amazon as well.
But the sponsor I pay for because I spend money. But the Amazon choice, I've done nothing for this to appear other than my sales. It has happened so quickly that just because we sell so many of them that we became an Amazon choice for the product. So I've done nothing. This is just an Amazon internal. Yes, please.
Do the dealers also sell it for $39.99?
Yeah, one of the things that is very important to me, and I promise all the dealers, is that I will not undercut them on Amazon. I made sure that they understood that I'm the seller on Amazon, so I can control the pricing, because that's one of their concerns was, yeah, you sell it, we'll sell it for 39, but my customer comes to the shop and I talk to them about it, and they can get it for 35. They're not going to buy it. So I made sure of that. And my pricing, by the way, was, I made sure, again, another thing that was very important to me, I think, from the very beginning, and I realized very quickly that even though, if it's a good product, it's not going to be enough. The fact that it's useful and great and all that stuff. We wanted to make sure that everyone is rewarded along the way. Distributors make a good profit, and the dealers make good profit. There's just no way around it. And each one of them makes almost 40% margins on the product. And it was a must, and I knew that has to be in place. So, yes.
Do you source everything in China, all of your materials there?
Yes.
You don't send anything over?
No.
And do you source it yourself, or do you have someone there to keep track of where it's coming from?
The question was if I source everything in China, and if I have someone in China who's looking after. So yes, I do have someone in China. It's kind of part of our story. We happen to have somebody who in this textile industry has his own factory that does women clothing, and he's been, God, I can't even imagine how we would do this without him. So he looks after everything that needs to be done. He's my eyes over there.
That's finalized now?
Yep. And I think you had a
Yeah, thanks.
last question.
So I'm just curious on if two of the products are selling out rapidly, but the other, maybe jack colors or not, why did you choose to keep the price the same? Why have the same for the one that's not really selling out and the price the same for the one that is?
I don't know why. The question about why would I keep the price for the ones that's the one that sells not so quick, not so fast, the same as the ones that sell rapidly. I never really thought of changing the price because I just the ones that sell rapidly, I just make sure I have enough inventory of them. I never really thought of doing this, and I don't. They still sell the other models. So I just don't really, I don't realize why I should do this.
It's if you were holding it, you have to pay for it.
No, I understand, but the quantities that I have are in proportion. I try to make it proportion. For example, I make for the one that sells really quickly. I just ordered right now from that one model 4,000 of these, versus the one that don't sell so much. I only have 500. So I might run into an inventory issue if I do drop the price.
It all depends what your holding costs are, right? If their holding costs are minimal, you might as well just hold on.
And that's what it is, and they really are.
I think we have finished. Maybe you can take the last question over there, but we have finished that.
Maybe you comment. Can you give us an idea, what's your split between the dealers and Amazon?
Profit? What's the split? You asked me what's the split?
Revenue.
Okay, so it retails for $39.99.
No, how much of your revenue is coming from Amazon versus the dealers?
Oh, Amazon by far. Amazon is probably 70%. And it is because because the dealers is going to take time. It's going to take time to grow it, and it is growing every day with that 11 sales team that are constantly every week adding new dealers, the product into new dealers, and having usually an end cap at the store. And I think.
Okay,
Can we hear from the chief executive officer?
Oh, she is a lot more important than me.
Okay, we have to stop. Sorry, I have to cut it off.
Yes, I'm sorry.
I love your story. Thank you for sharing
Thank you.
this with us.
Welcome to look at it.
How long have you been doing this?
Okay.
With that?
How long have you
Okay, lunches are in the back of the room. Let's everybody go back and get your lunches, and our next speaker will be starting exactly 12 o'clock. Okay, lunches.